Ladies and gentlemen, very warm welcome to another episode of the Developing Dads podcast. This is, in fact, episode 120, Neil. This
nice.
is, I mean, considering the fact that the top 1% of podcasts, you only actually need to publish 21 episodes. So we are... we are at least in the top 1%, which I will take, which is quite nice. But yes, welcome to another episode of the Developing Dad podcast. I hope those that have been tuning in, I had one mention from someone else saying that we are in fact back, and I hadn't told anyone. I haven't released it out into my below Z celebrity status on the internet. So that's quite good, and I think it's nice to get back into the rhythm of podcasting because I actually quite enjoy it, Neil. It's a nice little 45 minutes chat with you. Set something up in my diary. I get to fiddle around with editing stuff now, put it up, upload it, that kind of thing. So yeah,
I noticed our last YouTube upload got, I don't know, like 20-ish views.
20 views, Neil. Wow, we are we're about to take off and get monetized in that vein. Yeah, I think there's like a thing to like the systems stuff, right? Where I have a team, and that team can help me manage some of this process. Like sometimes you just kind of get caught up in like just doing it for yourself because it's quicker, but that's not a good way to do it. So I have things like getting it edited and then thumbnailed and then uploaded. So it's kind of a bit of an easier process. And like the Riverside platform that we use is actually quite easy for us to be able to upload podcasts to, because you just send a link to an editor and they can sort it all out. So, but I can't imagine we'll be getting sponsored by Riverside anytime soon. Anyway, yes, welcome to another episode of the Developing Dad podcast. We're going to talk about Neil's little trip away, actually, this weekend. Neil was on a spa break, which for most people that would involve like massages and kind of getting your nails done and swimming in hot water. But actually, Neil's kind of idea of a spa day is to basically drive about 6 hours to the Isle of Skye, climb mountains in minus 27 degree wind chill, and then just show everyone how amazing it looks while he's up there with his new fancy camera. So anyway, welcome, Neil. Hello, how are you? How was your weekend? Let's talk about it. Any interesting things, bits and pieces, anything's up? Update us on.
Yeah, might be worth if I'm going to be doing most of the talking. Do you want to fill the audience in of how your weekend was first?
Oh, you want me to jump in? I don't actually, Neil. I get to it's a Tuesday we're recording this on. Like I get to a Tuesday and I think, what is going on? Oh, I did. I overcooked it on Saturday, Neil. I drank too much.
Oh, I mean, I'm in the same boat. Like over 3 nights.
I overcooked it. I overcooked it big time. Like I was drinking like I thought I was 20.
You're looking not bad for a Tuesday to hear that.
It was a Saturday. I wasn't drinking on the Sunday, but I overcooked it, man. Like overcooked it big time.
What was the like?
Oh, it was just like, so I've got my season ticket with Fulham. I go there on a Saturday. We were playing Sunderland. And David and Jack couldn't go, so I had a couple of spare tickets. So I sort of lined up a game with a couple of friends, so they came. But it started a bit earlier than usual. Started in a pub rather than at the game. So at the game you might have like a couple of beers, just before the game itself. But then we started in a pub, so I'd had 3 before I turned up to the football.
This is what? Then you had early afternoon.
Yeah. Then I had 1 at the game before the game, so I was 4 deep before it even started. Ugh. And then 1 at halftime, so it was five gone by the time the game had finished. And then we decided to have a few more after the game, because you can go to like the other side, the Riverside bit, where you can watch the 5:30 kickoff. So we watched a bit of that, and that was like another 3 pints probably. And then we're walking home, and then you'd have another pint on the way home, and then you think, you know what? We might as well just have 1 more while we're out again. So I think I was about 10 pints deep. And I didn't get in at a ridiculous hour. It was, it was 10 o'clock, 10:30, but I had to be up with the kids the next morning. And I can tell you, Finlay likes to do his business in the morning, right? That's his digestive tract movement time. So to change a nappy at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning after I've been on a 10-pint football bender at the age of 38 was not a good move. I was not. It was a lesson. You know, sometimes you get carried away. Sometimes even at the ripe old, the middle old age of 38, you still make mistakes. So, but beyond that, man, like everything else is just kind of pretty normal. Like
Sunday was a recovery day then.
I didn't move until like 2-3 p.m. Laura was not pleased. And I understand. I get it. You know, I feel embarrassed. I feel ashamed. I definitely had to apologise. So thank you to my wife for taking it on the chin. Thankfully, the kids were at the grandparents most of the morning, afternoon, because they were off to like the cinema and stuff. So, but we should have been hanging out together, right? Because you don't get as much quality time when you've got kids. But yeah, shit.
Yeah.
Terrible deal.
What did you do for food? Or was it an empty stomach bender?
Yeah, that's the thing, right? You know, you're not really lining your stomach when you're at the football, right? So I definitely had lunch. So with those 3 pints to start with, I'd had lunch at a pub. So, you know, that was at least the most sophisticated part of the operation. But the rest of it was just liquid diet from about 1 o'clock onwards. Yeah.
Was it a good score?
Yeah,
What was the...
Yeah, we won. Like, it was 1-0.
Nice.
The game was good, but a bit pants. But I don't know, man. Like,
you go for the atmosphere and the whole experience thing.
I do, but there's a certain point where I've just got to realise I'm 38.
With 2 kids.
Right, I'm pushing 40. Next year is my 40th year. And, like, I've just got to, like, not do that again. Because I think if I go past 3 pints, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
And I just need not do that. Like, why can't I just have... I should have just had 3 pints. Like it'd been absolutely fine, you know. I'd had a good time. I would have the same time, and I would have woke up and not needed to throw up because I was changing my son's nappy at 6:30 in the morning. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's dead. Like, I've contemplated, like, next year going kind of teetotal, kind of do a year without alcohol. And moments like the weekend and stuff, I just don't fancy it.
I get it. I do get it, but then I like drinking a pint.
Yeah.
Like, I like a nice beer. I like to drink a nice whiskey. So I don't think it's about, and I also don't think life is about abstinence necessarily. Like, it's not, you don't live like a nun. I think you should still, like, you still probably should consume things that are not necessarily on the health on a health kind of thing. It's just because you're just enjoying it. It's just like a nice little thing. I don't know many pleasures than having an ice cold beer on a hot summer's day. It's great. It's lovely.
Yeah, I fully agree. Or like flip it with wintry outside in Skye by the fire with friends, a whiskey.
Or a glass of red wine. Like, we've had a really nice bottle of red wine sometimes with Christmas and things. So yeah, but I also don't think that a 38-year-old married man of 2 should be drinking 10 pints on a Saturday night. Like, that is ridiculous. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, my relationship with alcohol is kind of like a... I like it. I don't mind alcohol, but yeah, I definitely need to improve the ability to actually drink, which is not going to happen because I'm too old now. So yeah, are you telling me that you had a pretty heavy bender over the?
I wouldn't say heavy, just multiple nights, multiple different types of alcohol. So yeah, we can maybe go into story time.
It's a mixing as well, isn't it, Neil?
Yeah.
Like but then equally, I just had beer and I still felt absolutely horrendous. So I don't think, yeah.
I find
if I had whiskey on top of that,
if
would have been
if I drink IPAs all night, I feel minging. If I stick to like
but
a
they're
light
strong.
lager, I know. But
Yeah,
if I
but
stick
they're
to
like
lager's good.
But they're strong though, Neil, aren't they? Like some of the
5-6%.
Brewdog stuff is, yeah, the Brewdog stuff's like heavy, so it's the alcohol content that's killing you. Anyway, sorry, carry on. I'm listening.
Yeah, so weekend. It was phenomenal. But this is the second time we've done this with the same group of guys, and it's funny because you go away with the same group of guys you did like last year, and you think, oh, do we invite more people? Do we invite different people? I mean, I'm the kind of organizer in all this because it's my parents-in-law's house that we take over. But we kept it to the same group, and yeah, it was just phenomenal. So on the Friday, it was always going to be like Monday to Friday to Monday. On the Friday, we did a kind of Aldi Tesco shop in the morning and then made our way to the Isle of Skye. As Gordon mentioned, it's like 5 hours from where we live. And during that 5 hour trip, I got a phone call from the school, which is always fun. And Lewis at lunchtime wanted to come home because he felt sick and he felt dizzy. And it might be worth actually rewinding. So Friday morning, 4 a.m, Lewis wakes up in hysterics with really sore legs. So we're like, growing pains? Is it just kind of thing? But it was sorer than what we've seen before. So I gave him Calpol, give him ibuprofen, and he went to school okay. Lunchtime came, he got the phone call from school. I was halfway to Skye, so obviously there's no chance of meeting or anything. Thankfully, Rebecca was working from home, so she went to pick up Lewis. And he had a really, really raging fever, which again is a bit of a worry. So Rebecca phoned the GP. GP was like, yeah, want to see him. Sore legs and raging temperature isn't really a good recipe. So the GP said to Rebecca that I don't want to alarm you, but I want you to make your way to kind of the hospital and take Lewis to Sick Kids. So by this point, I think I'd just arrived in Skye, and I was like, is this trip going to be cancelled? Do I need to go back home? Is it serious? And then as kind of the time went on, Lewis got bloods taken, he kind of got x-rays and mobility checks by the consultants. And long story short, everything came back okay. And it was just kind of a mild flu he had. But they were trying to rule out like kind of bone infection and all that kind of stuff. So bit scary. Found that out at like 2 a.m. that he was going to be okay, and then discharged at 3. All while Rebecca was meant to be going to Copenhagen on Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon. So that was the start. Friday, all the guys arrived, and we put the fire on, got the beers flowing, got the whiskies going, and just a really chilled night. And then on Saturday, woke up, and this is where we're climbing the mountain. So for those that don't know about Skye, the weather changes. You can't really go by what the forecast is. So you just got to attempt it, and then if you make it, you make it. If you don't, you might have to turn back. But yeah, we had a really good climb up Bruch na Frith, which sits at about 980 meters tall, and we were climbing from sea level, so like it was 0 to 1 meter. So it was a decent climb, almost 1,000 meters up into the clouds, and yeah, the conditions were phenomenal. Took us around 8 hours to get to the top and back. It's a long day on the legs, and yeah, that was the kind of first day activities. I'm still shocked, Gordon. You haven't climbed a mountain before, have you?
What we determining a mountain?
So I mean, Benahee is 300-400 meters.
I mean, didn't I do one in like New Zealand where you were like, "This is higher than Ben Nevis"?
I can't remember. I don't know.
In Wanaka.
You can live search it.
I swear there was definitely some sort of like peak that we climbed, and you were like, "Wow, that's higher than Ben Nevis." Like, I'm gonna say something like Mount Pisa or Mount Hyde. So it was something like that, or Black Peak. Is that classed as a mountain if it says Mount in the name?
Yeah, I mean, definition of a mountain in Scotland is anything over like 960 meters.
So this says, maybe not. I can't actually tell. I mean, it gets.
Maybe you have then.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. And we did some stuff in like in Hawaii that was pretty high. So I think I've climbed a mountain. I don't know if it's. So then maybe I'm suggesting that it's not actually that impressive, Neil.
Maybe you are. But this one, certainly in the Cuillins, which is a mountain range in Skye, you need like spikes for your feet, and you need ice axes. Which, if you're on YouTube, you can see my ice axe just sitting there. So it's pretty gnarly, pretty scary at points where, yeah, snow is falling beneath you, and there's a big drop. Certainly, if you're not used to that kind of thing, I wouldn't recommend it. You need some experience, especially in winter. So yeah, made it to the top.
is there like are there various categories for men who are in their midlife? Right? I don't know many, I don't know many like 19-year-olds that are like, you know what? I'm going to go climbing and buy myself an ice axe. Right? You know, it's pretty much reserved for men in their 30s, if not pushing 40. Because it's got to be like, it's a car, right? It's a classic car. That's a midlife crisis thing.
Yeah.
What other things would be midlife crisis? Getting into like binoculars and bird watching.
Yeah.
Triathlons, ultra marathons.
I guess if you think about, I mean, the cost of equipment, I would say I've spent near 500, maybe 600-700 in total on my kind of mountaineering equipment. Now maybe actually more than that. My boots were like 400, so probably maybe pushing $1,000. Not many early 20-year-olds would be able to afford that kind of.
That's an easy way to classify a midlife crisis, is if you've spent £1,000 on very niche equipment or requirements. You know, most 20-year-olds would just climb that Isle of Skye mountain, without anything on. Right? They'd just be like pack horse donkeys, just go for it.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty cool. Like I've suggested to you, I think I said it this year, that we should go and do something in Wales. Which would be quite fun, go camping and all that kind of stuff. I've even looked up some camping gear to see how much that would all be. I didn't realise tents were that expensive, but here we are. And it's the kind of thing you don't want to skimp on, because if you get stuck in a blizzard or something, you kind of want something that's going to stay there and keep you warm, right? So I looked at that. So I think maybe we should try and do that 2026. We can go and, before I'm 40, maybe we'll go and climb a mountain or something. That'd be quite fun.
No, that'd be good. That was the Saturday activities. It just, when you're 8 hours off grid, no phone signal, the conversations just flow. Like, you're kind of not forced, but it just comes natural. It's like driving a car with your kids, and there's nothing to distract them. You kind of you just manage to hold conversations for 8 hours throughout the day. So that was really nice.
What's the chat, Neil? What's the
conversation?
What's on the news? You know.
So I'd say it goes through different topics over the weekend. During the day, Saturday up the mountain, it was very kind of trivial, like how's work, how's the kids, how's family, like how's things going, quite high level, nothing too deep. But as we came off the mountain, we stopped off at the Co-op and got some steaks, red wine, and that was our dinner for the evening. And everyone got home, showered, dinner, ate dinner, a few glasses of red wine, whiskey came out again. And I think we've maybe done it in the podcast before, but I took my conversation cards from Diary of a CEO. And if anyone doesn't know, Diary of a CEO have these conversation cards where there's questions that are quite deep on them, ranging from like any regrets in life to do you feel fulfilled, and quite deep questions for 5 guys that know each other well, but guys are not used to opening up, right? So we decided, for 4 hours, we decided to just each choose a card, answer the question, and it got pretty I'd say pretty deep, pretty emotional, to the point where we got not an argument, but there's a debate whether opening old wounds is required, or not required, but is worthwhile and beneficial.
Was that talking about forgiveness?
Yeah, things you've done in the past where you may have regret, that kind of stuff, or things that maybe happened to you, or you've done something to somebody. It was getting deep. But we all went to bed in a bit of an awkward place of feeling a bit weird. Which, you can laugh, but guys don't go there, right? It's just not something.
I mean, people don't go there. I think
women. Well, I don't know. I've never been.
No, I don't necessarily agree. I don't think I hold. I think I don't necessarily hold the premise that it's all about talking. To solve your own personal issues. Certainly from a perspective, this is from a perspective of a man, and from things that I've listened to, heard, read, self-discovered. Because most, for example, with suicide being the biggest risk to our lives at our age, the problems that arise of why people committed suicide are ones that can be practically solved, right? So financial issues are one high on the list, or one of the certainly top 3 on the list of why people commit suicide. So debt, gambling, all these kind of things, right?
Yeah.
Another one is one of the top of the lists is family courts. So losing children, for example, that's another reason for committing suicide. I don't know if you can talk your way out of those 2 things. Like, you can admit you're in a debt issue, and you can, talk to someone about it. But realistically, you're receiving practical advice. Like, how do you get yourself out of that situation? Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Here's the vision. Keep going. There's a process to it. I just don't know if
It's that age-old saying of like, you feel like a weight is lifted off your shoulders. If you talk about things and if you get things off your chest. And I don't necessarily agree with that sentiment, especially if I think of the Saturday night when we're all chatting about things. I probably felt worse after it all. And which
great, get the conversation cards, Neil. It's going to really improve your friendships.
If you look at this, the kind of science, is it science? I don't know, but there's like a process of dealing with things that have happened in the past and discussing them in the moment and shortly after may not feel great, but in the days and weeks after it, you may feel better, lighter. A shared, what's the saying? A shared problem is, I don't know. There's something around like sharing your problems and your issues and your wounds, and making them other people are aware of them and then can offer some guidance. So yeah, it was a deep Saturday, and kind of we woke up in the morning. James said it is like, it's amazing how what we discussed on Saturday night just automatically makes everyone feel more connected. And that goes with the saying of like on the back of the conversation cards is like, vulnerability is the key to connection. And it's so true that the more you know about somebody, the more you know their stories, their wounds, what they've gone through, what they've done. I don't know, can make you feel a lot more connected. So woke up Sunday, bit hazy, had a bit of a long lie, and had breakfast. Then we went on another hike, a coastal one now this time, and visited, the Dolomites, like the rocks from a certain age. There's an area.
The Dolomites in Italy.
Yeah, but there's some Dolomites over here as well, in the Isle of Skye, and they're 500 million years old. And
oh yeah,
we were chilling out on these Dolomite rocks. Pretty phenomenal, like the formations and stuff. And then went down to like a old Viking area, and yeah, just really cool seeing the history of Skye. Wasn't too strenuous. Another 8-9 miles in the legs. Then went back and had fajitas and managed to curb the alcohol on the Sunday night because we were leaving Monday. But yeah, it was just like a poster on LinkedIn because I'm fed up of AI content on LinkedIn, and I wanted to do something a bit different where, and I don't know if anyone knew, but it was Men's Mental Health Week last week. I certainly didn't know that until it popped up. But certainly men, I know women are guilty of this as well, but men don't do this enough in terms of going away for a weekend with just the guys, just the lads, and having shared experience. I think it's so important. So this is the second year we've done it. We're already planning next year where we're going to try and get my father-in-law to take us out on his yacht. So yeah,
yacht. I'd call it a boat. No,
boat.
What's the difference between a boat and a yacht? You're suggesting that your father-in-law is like a billionaire. He's like Jeff Bezos of Scotland.
What's the difference between a yacht vs boat? I mean, a boat could be like a little rowing boat.
Sure, but a yacht
is larger, more luxurious recreational vessel, while a boat is a smaller, more general term for watercraft. So the main difference is size. A yacht is generally over 40 feet, which I think his yacht hits 40 feet.
Oh, right. It's got a yacht then. I stand corrected. He is the Jeff Bezos. What was I going to say there? You said something about
encouraging everyone to do it. Every guy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I just think adults are really shit at making friends. Like meaningful friendships.
I agree.
Because they if you think about it, most people that aren't weird like me, they will stay in the same place they were born, or at least very close to it. Certainly the same country. They will maintain the friendships that they've had throughout their entire life. And then we'd also all agree that we do change as we age. So why, we're not married to our friends. So why do we maintain friendships that perhaps don't actually evolve with us as an individual, right? Because we've all been there. We've all got friends that are not married, don't have kids, and they're our same age as us. And we meet them and we have a conversation. We're like, we don't actually have anything in common.
Yeah.
You're going out partying on a Saturday, and I'm trying to sink 10 pints, but I'm changing nappies. I've got gymnastics the next morning at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, very different.
So then at that point, you become an adult, and when you're an adult, my experience is that you do become more self-conscious. You become more self-aware. You feel more nervous about certain situations. Status seems to be a larger role and plays things within your mind of the people you want to hang around with. You don't have the time like you used to have, especially when you've got kids and family and work and all that kind of stuff. So, and like, you can be friends with your colleagues, but should you have something that's outside of work, that's not necessarily connected directly to work stuff? So I just think adults are really, really crap. And I remember talking to Laura about it, where your kids are actually a really good vehicle for making new friends, because they make friends with other kids, and then you meet their parents, and then if you get along, then that's a new potential. But the big part of that is you don't have to be the 17-year-old that you met your other friends for. You don't have to maintain that identity. You don't have to maintain that type of person that you once were, that you're now changed. So you can now just completely reinvent yourself if you want. You can
be your new self.
30-year-old. Yeah, you can be the 30-year-old you are now in terms of who you are, what you like, what you dislike, and all that kind of stuff. And you don't have to carry any of that baggage. So I think we're just really bad at making friends, Neil. Men and women. Relinquishing and ending friendships that do not serve us anymore, and making new ones. So taking yourself on a trip like that, for example, helps you start to determine whether these people are actually good friends. Can you see doing it again with them? All these kind of things, right? That's why.
Yeah, no, I agree, and it kind of comes back to like the shared experiences of we've all had kids. There's one guy that comes with us who's got 5 kids, which we all know what it feels like. We're all back to reality today, waking up with the kids and seeing them to school and stuff. And I think that makes a big difference of like, we're all in the same part of life. Like we're all in our 30s, in our 40s, and we're all going through similar things. So it makes it a lot easier to connect. And it takes somebody to plan it right. I'm very passionate about kind of connection and having a close friendship group. And if I didn't instigate the planning, get the kind of dates lined up and organise and orchestrate it, it wouldn't have happened.
It
takes somebody to do that.
Yeah, that is a thing that I've talked to people about before as well, is that at the end of the day, someone has to do it.
Yeah.
And it takes some was it really it's not that stressful to organise things.
No, it's just a case of doing it. It's like messaging when everyone's free, do a poll. It's easy, right? It's not hard.
Well, it's not easy, nor is it hard. It's just a case of someone has to be the organizer, and for the most part, I think people actually go down the route of a dog. There's a saying about a dog that has 2 owners dies, because each owner will go, "Did you feed the dog? Did you feed the dog?"
Yeah.
So you just have to have someone who is just an organizer, and sometimes that's a burden. That's a thing that you have to carry. But what is the outcome? The outcome is a complete net positive for not only yourself, but everyone else that's potentially involved.
Yeah.
Maybe if you take those conversation cards out of the mix, Neil, you don't just fall out with each other for drinking too many beers.
No, we didn't fall out. It was more the awkwardness. There was definitely no falling out. That's kind of part of it. I think someone needs to be the organizer, and
if you're thinking about doing it, then why are you not the organizer? Why don't you just go out there and do it?
Yeah.
And maybe you're going to be the organizer all the time. But again, what do you want? Like, do you want friends? And then somehow you got to maintain them, right?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, very, very wholesome weekend. Back to reality this morning. I don't feel too bad. I feel a bit hazy, but I also, for the trip, I got a new kind of impromptu early Christmas present for myself, which is a DJI Action 5 Pro, which very impressed with. The quality of photos, video, the ability that it's rugged, it's waterproof, it's raining, I don't care getting wet. It was really cool. I dropped it a few times. It was bulletproof.
What do you think? Cool. What do you think about? And I've been pondering these kind of things, like specific places or specific things for specific actions. So, like the gym, having a home gym sounds like a great idea, right? I can see an exercise machine behind you. How many times has that exercise machine been used, Neil?
It comes and goes. If I get injured, like last year I was injured for 6 weeks. I used it 4 or 5 times a week. So it's kind of my, I can still maintain fitness and cardio if I get injured from running. Okay. So it sits and gathers dust, I say 80% of the year. But
okay, so, but it has a specific tool, I guess.
Yeah.
But then, like my iPhone, for example, it can take better pictures than my vastly overpriced Leica film camera. Right? It takes better pictures instantly. In fact, I can send them around the world immediately.
Yeah.
But with the film camera, I have to take the picture. I have no idea if I've taken it. It might take me a week or so to get through a roll of film. I have to send it off 4 or 5 days before it comes to me. Then I can see it. But the film camera is a specific tool for a specific thing. And I use it I take way more pictures on my film camera than I do my iPhone. Same thing if I'm videoing something, I'm unlikely to use my iPhone. I'm probably going to use a proper camera. What other things would be specific things? Like, going to the gym, actually going to the gym. What other things would you... Case in point. So basically my point is, did you find you used your camera more because it was a camera rather than like your iPhone, for example?
Yeah, 100%. I definitely agree with that sentiment where you've got a tool to actually do a job that does it really, really well. You've got thick gloves on, they've got big buttons you can push. I don't have to take the gloves off, I don't have to find my phone. There's definitely massive benefit in having another device to take photos. And phones take great photos, but if you compare what everyone else took to what my camera took, massive difference in terms of clarity, kind of wide angle lens, even in the hills. And it's rugged, it's waterproof. If I drop it, I'm not that concerned it's going to smash. So all that just makes it a pretty satisfying purchase.
Yeah. And like when people are like, oh, I could just use my iPhone to take pictures, you're like, I just don't think people use their iPhone. Like they'll use it for that, but they're just such throwaway things. Like I find if your action isn't necessarily purposeful, like I don't know how many people print their iPhone photos.
Yeah.
They just sit there. Like I think Laura's probably got about 4,500 on the iCloud somewhere. Like, where's that going to be used?
Yeah, I know. I see what you mean.
So yeah, I'm glad you like it. It's a good bit of kit. I might need to take it with me for something. I might get one just because I'm coming to the end of year accounts, so spend some tax money, which might be a good idea. I'm trying to think if there's anything else from that trip that I'm quite interested in. I mean, you had too much to drink, you talked too much about your feelings, and you climbed a couple of things that could be classified as mountains. It sounds like a pretty good bloke weekend.
Yeah, I'd agree. We've done it before last year. We're doing it again next year. Yeah, everybody, like, and I kind of said this on LinkedIn, where it's such a good recharge for both physical and mental health. Like, did a hell of a lot of exercise, like I think 50,000 steps over the 2 days.
Wow.
Yeah, but like I don't know, 16 hours on the legs. Feeling it today.
Really? Are the other guys all pretty fit?
Yeah,
and,
James is he noticed a massive difference. He's been running for 2 years now. Last year he was a bit nervous about going up mountains and Skye, but he did really well. And so did everyone else. But we're carrying like 30 kilograms on our back. Like we've got
Why?
emergency.
You were staying in a house somewhere.
When you go in the Coolins, you want like an emergency shelter. You want a first aid kit. You want a down jacket. You want your lunch, your water, ice axe.
So all of you need. So all of you need. All of you need that.
So the emergency shelters, you can get 2 people in. So you need a few of them. Oh, this is live, right? Listen to this. This is Dulles School phoning me.
All right. Okay.
Hi, Neil speaking.
Hi there, it's Lindsay from Dulles Primary.
Hi there.
Hi, I've got Isla with me at the office. She has forgotten.
When does she need it?
5 minutes ago.
Oh dear. Can she tell me where it is? And I could. Is there a lesson like now?
It's shortly, but
Okay.
Ireland, where is your recorder, Dad? In her room on the desk beside her bed.
Okay, I'll nip down and get it, and I'll be there in 5 minutes.
Thank you so much.
Okay, bye.
Look at that. That's a swift way for us to end another episode of the Developing Dads podcast. First of all, thanks for dropping in, listening. I think you know where Neil's about to go, grab a recorder and then run to the primary school. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. We've got a YouTube video up as well if you want to see our pretty faces reacting and discussing. If you want, we're across all podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all these kind of things. So if you check it out, drop us a comment, drop us a review. And if you're enjoying these overall since our return, then just give us a high five. Thanks so much for dropping by. And Neil, let's hope that Isla gets a recorder and she does her recorder things.
I know. I'm glad. I'm glad it's not a sick child because they're the worst phone calls.
Fun and games. They're the worst. Yeah, just don't have any sick children. Right. Cheers, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.